Let's be honest, we all have dreams, big goals we want to achieve, a version of ourselves that we strive to become. But no matter how hard we try, it often feels like we're stuck in the same routines, day after day, unable to break free from the cycle. You wake up, do the same things, get the same results, and wonder why nothing changes. Have you ever felt like this? Like you're putting in the effort, but not seeing the progress you want? It's easy to think that change requires a huge leap or some dramatic moment. But what if the secret to transforming your life lies in one simple idea: becoming unrecognizable? The truth is, the most significant changes come not from big, sudden shifts, but from small, intentional actions repeated over time. Stoicism teaches us that true transformation isn't about grand gestures. It's about developing unbreakable systems and daily habits that move us closer to the person we want to be. In this episode, we'll explore how you can change your life in just 1 week by applying Stoic principles to build systems that work, create lasting habits, and embrace a new identity. We're talking about mastering your life, reprogramming your mindset, and taking control of your actions so that by the end of this week, you'll be on a completely different path. So, are you ready to become unrecognizable? Let's dive in. 1. Master your life with unbreakable systems, not fleeting motivation. How many times have you relied on motivation to get things done? You wake up with a burst of energy, excited to tackle the day, but by the afternoon, that motivation starts to fade. By evening, you're left feeling like you didn't accomplish as much as you hoped. The cycle repeats itself. A temporary burst of motivation followed by inevitable burnout. You get stuck waiting for that spark of inspiration to drive you forward, only to be disappointed when it doesn't last. The problem with relying on motivation is that it's fleeting. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings can change. One day you feel energized and ready to conquer the world, but the next day you may struggle to get out of bed. If you only act when you feel motivated, you'll never build the life you truly desire. It's not motivation that leads to transformation, it's systems. Systems are the backbone of any successful, disciplined life. Think of them as your daily routines, habits, and rituals, actions you take consistently, even when you don't feel like it. Unlike motivation, systems don't rely on how you feel. They're built on discipline and consistency, and they become second nature over time. Systems give you structure and freedom. They allow you to keep moving forward, regardless of the mood or circumstances. The Stoics were masters of this idea. They didn't wait for motivation to guide them. They relied on discipline and routine. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, wrote in his Meditations, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Therefore, guard accordingly, and take care that you entertain no notions unsuitable to virtue and reasonable nature." What Marcus understood was that our actions shape our life, and our actions must be guided by strong, consistent systems, not by the whims of motivation. The Stoics knew that the true path to success was built on habits, not on emotions. They created routines and systems that helped them stay disciplined, regardless of how they felt on any given day. They didn't need motivation to do what was necessary. They made it part of their daily existence. So, how do you begin to master your life with unbreakable systems? The first step is to stop relying on motivation. Instead, design systems that free you from the need for motivation. These systems could be as simple as setting aside time each day to focus on your most important task. committing to a morning routine that sets the tone for the day, or scheduling regular time for physical exercise and mental reflection. The key is consistency. Every day do something that moves you closer to your goal, even if it's small. These small actions, repeated consistently, compound over time, leading to massive progress. Over time, these actions will no longer require motivation. They will become automatic, and you'll find yourself closer to your ideal self without having to rely on that fleeting burst of energy that comes with motivation. Start with one small system today. It could be as simple as setting aside 10 minutes each morning to plan your day, or deciding to walk for 30 minutes after dinner. Once you've mastered one system, add another. Slowly over time, your life will be shaped by the systems you've created, systems that will carry you through even the hardest days without relying on motivation. Remember, motivation comes and goes, but systems are the steady force that keeps you moving forward. 2. Reprogram your mind with Stoic courage and resilience. Have you ever faced a challenge that seemed insurmountable? Maybe it was a tough conversation, a setback at work, or a personal struggle that made you question your strength. In these moments, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and powerless, as if the world is working against you. But here's the truth. How you respond to adversity is what defines your strength, not the adversity itself. The Stoics understood this fundamental truth long before we did. They taught that adversity is not something to fear, but something to embrace. Stoicism teaches that our reactions to the events around us, not the events themselves, shape our lives. When we face challenges with courage and resilience, we reprogram our minds to grow stronger, not weaker. In the face of difficulty, we can choose to act from a place of fear and anxiety, or we can choose to act from a place of courage and resilience. Stoics like Seneca and Epictetus emphasized that the things outside our control, like external events or the opinions of others, don't have the power to shape us unless we let them. What matters is how we choose to respond. Imagine this. You're facing a tough situation, maybe a stressful project at work or a personal conflict. Instead of panicking, you decide to view the challenge as an opportunity for growth. You shift your mindset from, "This is too hard," to, "What can I learn from this?" In that moment, you're not just enduring adversity, you're embracing it, using it as fuel to build resilience. This is Stoic courage in action. The courage to face difficulty head-on, knowing that it will make you stronger. And resilience is the ability to keep going, even when the going gets tough. It's about seeing setbacks not as failures, but as stepping stones to growth. When you embrace these principles, you start to reprogram your mind. You stop seeing challenges as threats, and instead, you see them as opportunities to develop your inner strength. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." What he meant was that our time and energy are precious, and we waste them when we give up or retreat from challenges. When we resist adversity, we miss the opportunity to grow. But when we embrace it, we not only grow in strength, we grow in wisdom. The next time you're faced with a challenge, ask yourself, how can I approach this with courage and resilience? Instead of focusing on the difficulty, focus on what it's teaching you. Instead of seeing it as a roadblock, see it as an opportunity to build your inner strength. You have the power to choose your response, and that's what will define your character. Reprogramming your mind takes time, but the more you practice this mindset, the more resilient and courageous you'll become. And soon, what once seemed like obstacles will become opportunities, opportunities to grow, to learn, and to become the person you're meant to be. 3. Forge an iron will through relentless physical discipline. We've all heard the phrase, "Your body is your temple," but how often do we treat it like one? It's easy to neglect physical discipline when life gets busy, when the sofa looks more inviting than the gym, or when 100 other things demand our attention. Yet, the Stoics understood a powerful truth. True mental and emotional strength is built on a foundation of physical discipline. The body and mind are intricately connected. If you want to develop an unshakable mind, you need to begin with a strong body. This isn't about aesthetics or trying to look a certain way. It's about building resilience, energy, and discipline that will carry over into all areas of your life. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, practiced what he preached. He embraced discomfort as a way to build mental toughness, often walking long distances or fasting as a way to strengthen his will. His approach to life wasn't about indulgence. It was about mastering himself and his environment. Imagine waking up every morning and committing to move your body, not just for a day or a week, but as a permanent part of your routine. Whether it's a daily walk, a run, weightlifting, yoga, or simply doing stretches, the key is consistency. This daily commitment to physical discipline creates a ripple effect that strengthens your mind. You build your willpower, your determination, and your resilience, traits that are essential to overcoming life's challenges. Physical discipline is about showing up for yourself, even when you don't feel like it. It's about making the decision to move, to stretch, to strengthen your body, even when every part of you wants to stay comfortable. Over time, this becomes an unbreakable habit. It becomes a core part of who you are, and it transfers to every other area of your life. Just as you become more disciplined in your physical routine, you begin to develop mental discipline, making you better equipped to handle life's obstacles with calm and strength. Think about how much we rely on our bodies. Every decision we make, every challenge we face, is impacted by our physical state. If you're tired, sluggish, or unfit, even the simplest tasks become monumental. But when your body is strong, energized, and in motion, everything else becomes easier. You're able to think more clearly, handle stress more effectively, and approach your goals with vigor. The Stoics believed that voluntary discomfort, whether through fasting, walking in the cold, or exercising, was a way to practice control over one's desires and impulses. When you push your body beyond its comfort zone, you prove to yourself that you are capable of overcoming hardship. You become more resilient, more focused, and more disciplined, not just physically, but mentally. So how can you start building this physical discipline in your own life? It doesn't need to be extreme. You don't need to run marathons or lift heavy weights immediately. Start small, commit to a daily walk, try a new form of exercise, or simply do something that challenges your body. The important thing is consistency. Over time, you'll notice the difference it makes, not just in your physical health, but in your ability to stay disciplined in other areas of your life. The key takeaway here is that mental discipline starts with physical discipline. Every day you commit to strengthening your body, you're also strengthening your mind. So, get moving. Build your body, build your will, and watch how the strength you develop physically carries over into every area of your life. 4. Purge distractions and toxic influences without mercy. We live in an era where distractions are everywhere. They're constant and relentless, pulling our attention in 100 different directions. social media notifications, endless news cycles, messages, emails, and the pressure of always being on. These distractions aren't just inconvenient, they're robbing you of your time, your focus, and your peace of mind. And if you let them, they can prevent you from living the life you truly want. But here's the question. Are you truly in control of your time, or are you letting outside influences dictate how you spend your days? Distractions, whether they're digital or personal, don't just waste time. They consume energy, cloud your thoughts, and prevent you from making progress toward your goals. They're like thieves, stealing your focus and your peace, often without you even noticing until it's too late. The Stoics believed in simplicity and discipline. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote, "The things you think about determine the quality of your mind. Your life is controlled by what you choose to think about." What Marcus understood was that our minds are often clouded by distractions and irrelevant thoughts. The more you let your attention be pulled in different directions, the more fragmented your energy becomes. You can't focus on your goals if your mind is constantly bouncing from one thing to the next. So, how do you break free from this? You purge your life of the distractions that don't serve you. This doesn't just mean deleting a few apps or turning off your phone for an hour. It means getting rid of anything, whether physical or mental, that doesn't support your purpose or your long-term goals. Start with your environment. If you're surrounded by things that drain your energy, whether it's clutter, unnecessary commitments, or toxic relationships, take action. Clean your space, organize your life, and eliminate anything that's not helping you move forward. This can include saying no to meetings that don't add value, cutting off toxic people who drain your energy, or even unfollowing accounts that bring negativity into your life. You don't need to justify this to anyone. This is about protecting your energy and your focus so that you can spend it on what truly matters. One of the most powerful aspects of Stoic discipline is learning to control what you can and letting go of the rest. If you're constantly worried about things you can't control, like the opinions of others, the latest news, or the actions of people around you, you're giving away your mental and emotional energy, and that energy is too valuable to waste. This is a process. You can't remove every distraction overnight, but you can start small. Begin by identifying the things in your life that distract you the most. Is it social media, negative self-talk, clutter around your home? Once you've identified the biggest culprits, take action to eliminate or limit them. Maybe that means setting time limits for social media, creating a daily routine that prioritizes your goals, or setting boundaries with people who take more than they give. The point here is that distractions and toxic influences don't just sap your time, they weaken your resolve. The more you allow them to infiltrate your life, the harder it becomes to stay focused and disciplined. But when you begin to purge these influences, you regain control. You make space for what truly matters, your goals, your purpose, your growth. Think of your mind as a garden. If you let weeds grow unchecked, they'll overtake the plants that are meant to thrive. But if you pull those weeds out one by one, you create room for the things that will help you grow. This is how you protect your focus and energy. This is how you live intentionally. So, take a moment to evaluate your life. What distractions or toxic influences are holding you back? Start eliminating them today, step by step. Your future self will thank you for the peace and clarity you create. 5. Sever all ties to your old self with a bold symbolic act. Have you ever found yourself holding on to habits, beliefs, or ways of thinking that no longer serve you? Maybe you've outgrown certain behaviors, or perhaps you're still clinging to a version of yourself that's no longer aligned with the person you're trying to become. The past can be a heavy burden to carry, and if we're not careful, we can get stuck in old patterns that hold us back from growing. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do to move forward is to let go of who you used to be. The Stoics taught that we should never let the past define us. They believed that every moment offers a chance to choose who we want to be, regardless of our past actions or mistakes. In fact, Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, argued that the only thing we can truly control is our own thoughts and actions, not the events that have already happened. Imagine this. You've been carrying around a bag of old habits, beliefs, and fears that no longer serve you. They're weighing you down, preventing you from moving forward. What if you decided right now to let go of all that baggage? What if you symbolically severed the ties to your old self and declared that today marks the beginning of a new chapter? This is exactly what you can do with a bold, symbolic act. It might sound dramatic, but sometimes we need that visual, physical representation of letting go in order to move forward. The act of writing down every habit, belief, or fear that's holding you back, and then destroying the list, whether by burning it, tearing it up, or burying it, sends a powerful message to your subconscious. This chapter of my life is over, and I am choosing a new path. Think about how freeing that would feel. The act of physically destroying something that's been a part of you for so long signals to your mind that you are no longer tied to it. It's a declaration that you are not the person you were yesterday. You are choosing to step into your power and embrace your future self with all of the potential and possibilities that come with it. This isn't just about discarding physical items or habits. It's about shedding the mental baggage that keeps you stuck in the past. It's about saying goodbye to limiting beliefs like, "I'm not good enough," or "I'll never succeed," and making room for new, empowering thoughts that align with the person you want to become. The Stoics believed in living in accordance with nature, and that includes embracing change. To grow, we must be willing to let go of the old and make space for the new. So, what can you do today to sever ties with your old self? Write down the habits, fears, and beliefs that are holding you back. Don't hold back. Be brutally honest with yourself. Then, find a way to destroy that list symbolically. It might feel a bit uncomfortable, but that's the point. Change isn't always easy, but it's always worth it. This is how you break free from the past. This is how you embrace the person you are becoming, the person who lives with purpose, clarity, and self-discipline. Severing those ties is a powerful way to declare that you're moving forward and nothing is going to hold you back. So, take action today. Let go of what's holding you down and begin the process of embracing your new self. The road ahead is clear, and it starts with this bold, transformative decision to sever all ties to your old self. 6. Feed your mind with purposeful consumption and clear intent. In a world full of distractions, it's easy to mindlessly consume information without ever questioning its impact on our lives. We scroll through social media, watch countless videos, read articles, and listen to podcasts, often without a clear purpose. But here's the reality. What you feed your mind is just as important as what you feed your body. The quality of the information you consume directly influences the quality of your thoughts, decisions, and ultimately, your life. If you constantly consume negative, superficial, or irrelevant information, your mind will become cluttered, anxious, and unproductive. But when you choose to consume with purpose, when you deliberately fill your mind with high-quality, empowering content, you create a foundation for growth and success. The Stoics were keenly aware of the importance of controlling what enters our minds. Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." In the same way, we can cultivate mental wealth by learning to choose the information that truly serves us. The Stoics didn't waste time on things that didn't add value to their lives. They understood that every thought we entertain shapes the direction of our lives, and that includes the information we allow ourselves to consume. Think about the media you engage with daily. Are you filling your mind with content that helps you grow, learn, and become better? Or are you wasting time on mindless scrolling, negative news, and gossip? What we consume has a powerful effect on how we view the world. If you surround yourself with negativity, your mind will start to reflect that negativity. But if you deliberately choose to engage with uplifting, educational, and positive content, your mindset will shift, and so will your reality. This doesn't mean avoiding entertainment or the occasional bit of light-hearted content, but it does mean being intentional with your time. For example, you might choose to listen to a podcast that teaches you something valuable instead of scrolling aimlessly through your social media feed. Or you might read a book that helps you grow mentally and emotionally, rather than consuming media that adds to your stress or anxiety. Feeding your mind with purposeful consumption doesn't just apply to media. It also applies to the conversations you engage in. Who do you spend your time talking to? Are they encouraging you to be your best self? Or are they dragging you down with negativity and complaints? Surround yourself with people who challenge you, who inspire you, and who help you become the best version of yourself. Your environment plays a huge role in shaping your thoughts, and your thoughts shape your actions. One powerful practice to adopt is the use of positive affirmations. These aren't just feel-good phrases. They are powerful tools that can reprogram your mindset. By repeating affirmations that reinforce your goals, strengths, and values, you begin to align your thinking with your highest potential. This isn't about ignoring reality or pretending everything is perfect. It's about consciously focusing your mind on what you want to achieve and who you want to become. So how can you start today? Begin by paying attention to what you consume. What are you reading, listening to, and watching? Is it helping you grow, or is it keeping you stuck? If it's the latter, consider making a change. Choose content that aligns with your goals, values, and aspirations. Start small and gradually increase your intake of high-quality information that empowers you. Your mind is like a garden. If you plant seeds of growth, positivity, and knowledge, it will flourish. Remember, the mind thrives on quality input, so feed it with purpose. Choose wisely what you allow to shape your thoughts, and in turn, you'll shape your future. 7. Embrace Stoic calm to conquer chaos and fear. We all face moments of fear, doubt, and uncertainty. Whether it's anxiety about the future, fear of failure, or the stress of juggling multiple responsibilities, the challenges of life can often feel overwhelming. In these moments, it's easy to get lost in the chaos, to let fear and stress control our actions and decisions. But what if you could navigate through life's turbulence with a calm, unwavering mindset? This is where Stoicism comes in. The Stoics believed that the key to mastering life is not in controlling external events, but in controlling our internal reactions. In other words, it's not the chaos around us that determines our peace. It's how we respond to it. The Stoic principle of amor fati, loving your fate, teaches us to embrace whatever comes our way, seeing every challenge as an opportunity for growth. When you practice Stoic calm, you shift your focus away from the fear and frustration of uncontrollable events. Instead of seeing challenges as threats, you learn to see them as opportunities to cultivate resilience, strength, and wisdom. The Stoics weren't about avoiding discomfort or hardship. They understood that these experiences were essential for personal growth. As Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, wrote in his Meditations, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This mindset allows you to face fear with courage, to approach problems with clarity, and to stay focused on what you can control: your thoughts, your actions, and your response to external events. When you embrace Stoic calm, fear loses its grip over you. Instead of being paralyzed by what might happen, you take thoughtful, deliberate action, knowing that you can handle whatever comes your way. But how do you cultivate this kind of calm in the midst of chaos? It begins with mindfulness. Take a step back, breathe deeply, and focus on what's in front of you. Ask yourself, what is within my control right now? The answer is always the same: your thoughts, your actions, and your perspective. Everything else is outside of your influence, and once you let go of the need to control the uncontrollable, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and anxiety. Another Stoic practice to adopt is the idea of premeditatio malorum, which translates to the premeditation of evils. This practice involves contemplating the potential challenges you might face, not to dwell in fear, but to prepare yourself mentally for adversity. By imagining the worst-case scenario and accepting that life is full of uncertainties, you build the mental strength to face whatever comes your way with composure. This doesn't mean that you should expect the worst or live in fear. It means you're preparing yourself to meet challenges with a calm mind, knowing that you have the resilience to handle them. By embracing the reality that life will bring hardship, you remove the fear of it. You stop fighting the inevitable and begin to flow with it, like a river that adapts to the shape of the land. Fear and stress will always be a part of life, but Stoic calm gives you the tools to not just survive them, but to thrive despite them. When you embrace life as it comes, with all its ups and downs, you build an inner peace that no external circumstance can disturb. You train yourself to be unshakable, to remain steady no matter what chaos surrounds you. So, the next time you're faced with fear, doubt, or stress, remember the Stoic wisdom. What stands in the way becomes the way. Embrace whatever comes your way, knowing that every challenge is an opportunity to grow stronger. Cultivate Stoic calm, and you'll discover that the chaos of life no longer has the power to shake you. 8. Rediscover yourself daily through deep journaling. In the hustle and bustle of everyday life, it's easy to lose track of who we are and what truly matters. We get swept up in responsibilities, tasks, and external expectations, often neglecting to check in with ourselves. We go through the motions without taking the time to reflect on our thoughts, actions, and progress. But here's the truth. Without self-reflection, it's impossible to understand where we're headed, why we're doing what we're doing, or how we can improve. This is where journaling comes in. Journaling is more than just a place to jot down your thoughts. It's a powerful tool for self-discovery, growth, and clarity. The act of writing down your thoughts helps you process your emotions, track your progress, and gain insight into your behaviors and mindset. It's a mirror that reflects not only who you are today, but who you can become. The Stoics were keenly aware of the importance of self-reflection. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, kept a personal journal throughout his life. He used it to reflect on his actions, his thoughts, and his decisions. His journal wasn't just a record of events, it was a space for self-examination, for practicing gratitude, and for holding himself accountable. In his meditations, Marcus wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Therefore, guard accordingly, and take care that you entertain no notions unsuitable to virtue and reasonable nature." Journaling is a way to guard your thoughts and to ensure that your actions align with your values. When you write down your thoughts, you give yourself the space to examine them objectively. You can look at your worries, your frustrations, your triumphs, and your mistakes from a distance without being overwhelmed by them. This distance allows you to think more clearly, make better decisions, and understand yourself more deeply. But journaling isn't just about reflecting on what's gone wrong. It's also about celebrating your wins. Too often we focus on what's not working, but we neglect to acknowledge our progress. Writing down your successes, no matter how small, helps you build momentum and boosts your confidence. It reminds you that every step forward counts, and that you're making progress, even on the toughest days. Daily journaling is also a way to keep yourself accountable. It's easy to set goals and make plans, but without reflection, those goals can get lost in the shuffle of daily life. By journaling about your intentions and progress, you hold yourself responsible for taking action. You can review your goals regularly, track how you're doing, and adjust your approach when needed. This keeps you on course and ensures that you're always moving toward the life you want to create. The Stoics believed that self-discipline comes from understanding and controlling your thoughts. Journaling is a practice that helps you do just that. It forces you to slow down, think deeply, and align your actions with your core values. It's not just about recording events, it's about learning from them and using them to become a better version of yourself. To start journaling, set aside time each day, even if it's just for 10 minutes. Don't overthink it. Simply write down your thoughts, feelings, and observations. Ask yourself questions like, what did I do today that moved me closer to my goals? What could I improve? What am I grateful for? Let the process flow naturally, and over time, you'll begin to notice patterns, insights, and areas for growth. Journaling is a powerful practice that can help you rediscover yourself every day. It's a tool for clarity, accountability, and growth. If you're not already journaling, start today. Reflect on your thoughts, track your progress, and use this simple yet transformative practice to guide you on your path toward becoming the best version of yourself. 9. Visualize your future self and affirm it into reality. Have you ever taken the time to truly imagine the person you want to become? Most of us have a clear idea of what we want out of life, whether it's financial freedom, physical health, or fulfilling relationships. But how often do we actually visualize ourselves achieving these things? We may set goals, make plans, and work hard, but without a clear mental image of our ideal future self, we risk losing sight of where we're headed. Visualization is more than just daydreaming. It's a powerful tool that can shape your reality. When you clearly picture the person you want to become, the actions you need to take to get there start to become clearer as well. The Stoics understood that the mind plays a crucial role in shaping our actions. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, reflected often on the importance of shaping his thoughts and perceptions, writing, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Visualization is a way to consciously direct those thoughts toward the future you desire. But visualizing your future self is not just about imagining the end goal. It's about seeing the person you need to become in order to achieve that goal. How do you walk? How do you talk? How do you make decisions? The more specific you can get in your mental image, the more your mind and body will align with that version of yourself. It's like setting your internal GPS system to guide you in the right direction. Imagine for a moment that you're the person you want to become. Picture yourself waking up in the morning. What does your routine look like? How do you approach challenges? How do you handle your interactions with others? This is more than just creating a dream. It's about identifying the habits, actions, and mindset you need to adopt to make that future self a reality. One of the most powerful tools you can use to reinforce this vision is positive affirmations. These are simple, positive statements that reflect the person you're becoming. Instead of saying, "I wish I could be more disciplined," say, "I am disciplined and focused." Instead of thinking, "I'm not good enough to achieve my goals," say, "I have everything I need to succeed." The more you repeat these affirmations, the more they shape your beliefs about yourself. Your subconscious mind begins to accept them as truth, and your actions start to align with your new identity. This is a powerful technique used by some of the most successful people in the world. Whether they're athletes, entrepreneurs, or performers, they all use visualization and affirmations to prime their minds for success. It's not about wishful thinking. It's about setting your mind on a clear path and conditioning yourself to believe that your goals are not only possible, but inevitable. But it's not enough to just visualize and affirm your future self once and forget about it. You need to make this a daily practice. Every morning, spend a few minutes visualizing your ideal self and affirming the qualities and actions that will make that vision a reality. Picture yourself as the person you aspire to be, not just in terms of achievements, but in terms of the mindset and habits that will get you there. Visualizing your future self and affirming it into reality is a practice of aligning your inner world with your outer actions. As you continue to make this practice a part of your daily routine, you'll start to see the results in your life. Your actions, decisions, and habits will begin to reflect the person you're becoming, and you'll move closer to your goals with each passing day. So today, take the time to visualize your future self. Picture the person you want to become, and make that vision a part of your daily practice. Affirm it, believe it, live it. The more you do, the more you'll shape your reality into the life you've always wanted. 10. Commit daily to your new identity and shape your reality. Every day we make choices. Some are small, like deciding what to have for breakfast. Others are monumental, like choosing to pursue a new career, start a new habit, or confront a fear. But here's the truth. Every choice we make shapes who we are becoming. And every choice you make today either builds the person you are striving to become or reinforces the person you're trying to leave behind. In the process of transformation, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that change happens gradually, over time, with little effort. The reality is that transformation requires a deliberate, daily commitment. Every single decision, action, and thought you have can either reinforce your old self or push you closer to the person you are trying to become. This is why Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of living with intention and focus. The Stoics believe that you must live each day in alignment with your highest values, without waiting for the perfect moment or external circumstances to align. Think of your identity as a sculpture, and each decision you make is a stroke of the chisel. Over time, those small, intentional actions carve out the person you will become. If you aren't conscious of this, it's easy to let life's distractions and setbacks slowly chip away at your progress. But when you take control, when you commit to your new identity every day, you begin to shape your life into something truly remarkable. The Stoics didn't just believe in philosophy, they believed in action. They didn't wait for circumstances to align. They took control of what they could control, what they thought, what they did, and how they responded to life's challenges. As Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Your time is precious, and every moment is an opportunity to take action toward the life you want to build. Your new identity isn't something that will appear overnight. It's something you must commit to day by day, choice by choice. This is where the real power of self-discipline comes in. It's easy to stay committed to your goals when you feel motivated, but what about when you don't feel like it? What about on the days when you're tired, distracted, or discouraged? That's when the daily commitment matters most. The Stoics would argue that in those moments, you must make a choice, not based on how you feel, but based on who you are choosing to become. Commit to your new identity with purpose. Start each day with a clear intention. Ask yourself, who do I want to be today? What actions can I take today to align myself with my highest values? This daily commitment doesn't have to be grand. It can be something as simple as choosing to be present in the moment, staying disciplined in your habits, or making a decision that brings you closer to your long-term goals. Your new identity is built on consistency. It's not about making radical changes overnight, but about making small, intentional decisions that move you closer to who you want to be. Over time, these small commitments add up, and you'll look back to realize that you've transformed your life. So, commit daily to your new identity. Every choice you make today is shaping your tomorrow. Embrace this power, and remember that the life you want to live is a result of the actions you take, moment by moment, decision by decision. Congratulations! You've now discovered the 10 transformative steps that will change your life in just 1 week. But remember, the real transformation doesn't happen in the moment of learning. It happens in the daily commitment to these principles. The power is in your hands to reshape your identity, strengthen your discipline, and become unrecognizable to the person you were just a week ago. Each of these steps, whether it's mastering your life with unbreakable systems, embracing Stoic calm, or committing daily to your new identity, represents an opportunity to take control of your future. The Stoic wisdom shared here isn't just theory. It's a practical, actionable way of living that leads to real change. But the true magic happens when you take what you've learned today and apply it step by step, day by day. It won't be easy every day, and there will be moments when it feels like nothing is happening. But as you stay committed, you'll start to see the transformation unfold. So, I challenge you, starting today, take one of these steps and implement it. Whether it's creating a daily system, reprogramming your mindset, or embracing your future self through visualization, choose one thing to commit to right now. Let it be your first step toward becoming unrecognizable. If this episode resonated with you and you're ready to take control of your life, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Spread the message of Stoicism and personal growth with others, and remember, every small step counts. Your transformation begins now. Stay disciplined, stay focused, and most importantly, keep moving forward.